Happy Saturday. I gotta say, I was feeling really under the weather the last few days. I think this is day
4.
Okay, so she knows. You've been counting? Day 4, and it's the first day where I'm starting to feel better. I did wake up with a headache. I did wake up with a sore throat. I've had it for about 4 days now. But like yesterday, my sore throat started to get pretty bad again. It was painful. And then I just threw some zinc all the way to the back of my throat. And then a few hours later, I'm feeling better, right? But no, I had chills yesterday. I had body aches. That zinc really helped me. I took some vitamin C, ate, and in the evening I was feeling a bit better. So good morning, Olivia Chauvin. How you doing today? What platforms are you currently selling on? Let us know in the comments. So yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful. I'm feeling better now. Let's see how the day goes. You know, it's recommended you do self-care. I had this chat with my mom yesterday, and she was like, you really got to just get off the, of course, my mom's very loving in the way she talks, but she was like, just chill out. Don't do anything. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to like play video games. She's like, no, don't play video games. Don't do anything. Get off your phone. So I played video games, you know, I didn't listen to my mom, but it's hard, right? It's hard to put everything down. She's like, don't watch movies. Don't read. Just don't do anything. So it's good advice from mom. Good morning, TrishFan99. Happy Saturday to you. Good morning, Live Thrift Love. Happy Saturday to you. And good morning, Stable Movement. Today, let's bring up the topic that we're going to discuss. Cross-listing for resellers, and is it worth it? And by the way, I think it was on Thursday, Vendoo, our favorite cross-listing app that we're using right now, they asked for recommendations. They said, hey, do you guys have any recommendations for us so that we can take them into consideration and then change it for you guys, right? So Michelle and I decided we have some recommendations. We've been listing cross-listing on the four main platforms that Vendoo offers, which is Poshmark, eBay, Mercari,
Etsy
if it applies, because Etsy is more for vintage items. However, we've mentioned several times to you guys that OfferUp has made us a good amount of money, but we haven't been listing on there because it's not part of their platform. So we're going to request that, and maybe even
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace, yeah. So please, in the comments below, let us know which platforms you're currently cross-listing on. I think we still got to work on the slides and bringing down the words a little bit. I don't think we've quite mastered that yet. So what
do you cross-list? If so, what do you think of it?
Do you cross-list? If so, what do you think of it? Do you cross-list consistently every day? Is it inconsistently? How many platforms do you list on? Comment below. And if at any time you have a question you want to share with everybody, go ahead and click on the little question mark sticker below so we can display it and read it to everybody. So Live Thrift Love says she cross-lists. So which platforms are you currently cross-listing on? And what are the names, if you don't mind sharing? Also, are you doing it manually, or are you using like a cross-listing service? The C Shop 86, good morning to you. Happy Saturday.
So we looked at a couple of different services and companies that offer the service. This includes ListPerfectly and Vendoo. I think those two are the most popular one. There is also CrossListit, ReselleKit.app, Crazy Lister, Listing Joy. I think those are not as popular, so we're not too familiar with how they work, but they still offer the same service. And so we're gonna look a little at the ListPerfectly and Vendoo pricing If you guys are interested in using this service, there is a fee. However, it really saves you some time. So for ListPerfectly, you can cross-list of multiple platforms: eBay, Poshmark, Depop, Tradesy, Grailed, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari. So they offer a lot of different platforms. And they start from $29 for 100 listing, and then it goes up to $69 a month for 500 listings.
And then it's going to be $49 for 300 listings. So just want to make sure to include all the, we are uploading this to a podcast. So, people at home can't see the video, but you can find the video on our IGTV, at the Flippin Gals on Instagram, or on YouTube, Flippin Gals on YouTube. But anyway, so speaking of ListPerfectly, these are their prices: $29 for 100 listings, $49 for 300 listings, or $69 for 500 listings. So, also, if you like one or the other, can you tell us why? So why, for example, Live Thrift Love says she likes Perfectly better. She used Vendoo before in the beta. So yeah, we used both before. We used Vendoo in the beta, and by now they keep changing stuff, which is kind of one big reason we like them, is because we'll suggest a change and they'll actually listen to the customers and do it. But we would like to hear why you like your cross-listing platform, if you don't mind sharing that. Good morning, Eco Exchange. Happy Saturday. Good morning, Dawn Southern Finds. Happy Saturday.
So another overview for Vendoo is the first 5 items are free, and then it goes all the way up to $150 for 4,000 items.
Do you mind going through each individual price?
Yeah, so it's $8.99 for 25 items, $20 for 125 new items. So when they talk about new items, it's not just about when you click the button list, but it's adding new items into the platform. So let's say you have 100 in the first month, you're adding another 100. It's the new ones where you can relist. So I find that that feature great because it serves as an inventory system for me.
Sorry, I have a question. So, okay, let's start with the lowest pricing for Vendoo. So first of all, they let you do 5 free new items every month. Does that mean that the old items
are still within the platform?
You can still delist it from Vendoo?
Yeah.
So essentially you can use Vendoo for free. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And you can just list 5 new items every month.
Correct.
And those are new items. So the old items you can manipulate however you want.
Yeah.
And it serves as an inventory, kind of like a place to keep track of your inventory.
And it stores all your photos and all your descriptions, which is great.
Okay. Also, my question is, let's say you have 5 old listings. Can you relist them for free, or do you have to pay for the new items?
No, that would be count as a listing.
So you don't have to. You can relist on Vendoo, change some descriptions or prices, and list it, and you don't have to pay.
You have to pay every time you list an item. It's considered as one listing. So if you have 100 items that already are in there, and you list those 100 items, that is still considered a listing.
Is it considered a new listing?
Yes.
So does it count it on your inventory again then? Does it double count it on your inventory?
No.
This is a little bit confusing.
Because you could delist and you could list. So essentially, you have 100 items in there. Everything's listed last month, right? They're all out and about, out in the platforms. And then you add one more 100 in there. Those are all new. And you can list another 100, and those are new listings.
Okay, but the question is, let's say you have 100 items, and you don't have any new items, but you want to relist them. Do you need to delist them?
Yes.
And then relist them as new?
Correct.
Okay, that was my question. It's hard sometimes. Life is hard. Okay, so good morning down this road. Thanks for joining us this morning. Lift Thrift Love says that she likes List Perfectly because it's more accurate for the complex eBay format. She can list to eBay and then cross-list from there to Poshmark and Mercari. And she says it's quicker because they don't require as much information. So we have a question for you, right? This last week, we've been doing list 17 items a day. I think out of 7 days, we hit 5 days. We missed 2 days. We kind of shifted our priorities, which is not good, right? So this next week, starting today, so from this Saturday to next Saturday, our goal is before we do anything else, before we take pictures, before we shop, we're going to list 17 items, whether they're new or relist, doesn't matter. And then we're going to do everything else. So that's the number one goal, right? So we can increase our sales. All right. So then good morning, My Web Promos. Good morning, Emily Kusma. Thanks for joining.
Good morning. So, so it's $20 for 125 new listings, $30 for 250 listings, $50 for 600, $100 for 2,000. I don't know who can list 2,000 at a time. Maybe, I don't know. $150 for 4,000 new listings. And then Vendoo also has different features where you can import an item. Let's say you already have 50 items on eBay and they're not in Vendoo. You can import them to Vendoo with all the pictures by clicking a couple of buttons. You can delist and relist for another $5, and you can add another marketplace for $5. So currently Vendoo, the basic platforms are eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, and Mercari.
Awesome. So again, we're asking you guys this question, all right? How many items are you guys listing every day? Whether it's a new list or a relist. We're shooting for 17 with, we use Vendoo, and it takes us an hour and a half to do 17 items across 3 or 4 platforms. So can you guys share how long it takes you to do however many items you guys are listing every day? All right. So here we go.
So this is more for beginners and people who are really trying to get into cross listings. Actually, let's talk about this first. So this is the reason why we want to cross list and why you want to cross list is because the more exposure you have, the more chances that you're going to sell something. And so this is sort of our year-to-date data where we sold the most on eBay and then Poshmark and then Etsy, Mercari, and then Tradesy.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, Tradesy, okay, let's just be honest here. We have not been listing and relisting every day this year of 2020, but it's half the year we're going to get started on doing that. Also, we don't really list daily on Tradesy or relist. We just do it one time, right? And we don't really send much in there anyway. Okay, but so far, these are our year-to-date sales. Is that 1 year from today or from since
a year
January?
and a half.
A year and a half, okay.
Yeah.
So a year and a half to date sales.
Yeah, and so it's important to basically be out there as much as you can.
All right, so we have Liv Thrift Love says you can with List Perfectly too. She batches 25 to 100 pictures on one day, and then throughout the week she'll list 10 to 25 a day. So how long does it take you to list 10 to 25 a day? How many hours? On eBay, if you don't list new items, let's see here, it's hard to read that. If you don't list new, the items ending that day and early and sell similar and change the title around, and eBay considers that a new listing. Yes. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Liv Thrift Love. We have a question. Is Tradesy just for clothes?
Yes, it's only for women's clothing.
But also we sold purses there.
Yeah. Sorry. Clothes and purses and shoes.
And we sold shoes there. So yeah, for attire, right? Yeah. How about jewelry? Do they do jewelry?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know it's very women focused.
Yes.
I've sold a couple of things there. I usually go for high-end items. So anything you know, we sold a J. Crew dress there. We've sold
so if you are selling on Poshmark, consider using Tradesy for some of the brands you want to get more money out of things. For example, we had a J. Crew dress for we wanted $55 for it. It was brand new. And you know, Poshmark, a lot of times people want to lowball you. So if you don't want to be lowballed, send your things to Tradesy. You'll get a better price.
We've sold a leather backpack, the Lanvin, more upscale brand backpack.
Okay. And we sold shoes, Vince Camuto shoes.
Yes, we did sell a pair of Vince Camuto shoes. So this is for people who are thinking of using cross-listing service. How does it work? It's the same thing as if you were going on eBay to upload an item. You upload all the photos, you put in the title description, you then add, you know, all the information. The thing is they have the different drop-down menus, so it allows you to kind of just pick and choose the selection, like color, sizes. And then you for Vendoo, at least for Vendoo, you just click on where I want to list, click list on eBay, and then click list on Mercari, and then click list on Etsy. So it's really saving a lot of time, as you know, compared to if you were to go to the different platforms.
All right, so Lift or Fluff said, once I have the photos, listing 15 items and cross-listing to other platforms takes me an hour and a half. So it's about the same.
Yeah,
it's comparable to what it takes us to do 17 items on Vendoo. So now how, like with eBay, does Vendoo need more kind of areas to fill in? Do you...
Different platforms have different description and things to click on. So eBay, Etsy has the most basically things you have to fill out, but it's still going to save you a lot of time.
So my question is, like, once you list across all the platforms, do you still need to go into eBay and add extra things, or is it done?
You can if you'd like, if you want to be super prescriptive. However, it's pretty much done, for at least for me.
Okay, cool.
You get all the basic information in there and you're done. So the benefit of, you know, of cross-listing is really increasing your exposure. If you go on Google and you type in Michael Kors handbag, leather, white, you're going to pop up everywhere because of your exposure. So that is really one key benefit of cross-listing.
Yeah, there was like a hoodie that I was looking for to see if other people were selling it. We're the only ones selling this certain hoodie from this skate brand called
Rip and Dip.
And when I Googled it, we came up like 5 times.
Yeah.
So we listed that sweatshirt on 5 different platforms, and we're just all over the place. So that's a huge benefit, right? If somebody's looking for that item and they see you 5 times, they're gonna be like, wow, this person or this store, you know, they're on it. They're everywhere. Mm-hmm. Good morning, JH. Jhand H19. How are you doing this morning? My web promo says, I met the ladies of ListPerfectly in person in a meetup here in Arizona. I like what they have to offer with their service. Awesome. All right. So number 4, more exposure equals more sales equals more profit. So one more thing on the more exposure thing, and we've talked about this before, is that, you know, there's people who only shop on Poshmark, right? Equally, there are people who only shop on OfferUp and on eBay. So if you are not on one of those platforms, you're definitely missing out. You know, and so you want to make sure you're on all the platforms, even the ones that are not offered, you know, across the listing platforms, the multi-listing platform softwares like OfferUp or Facebook or whatever. Actually, I think Facebook Marketplace is on ListPerfectly, right? Mm-hmm. But you still want to list on those too, because that's still exposure for your business.
Exactly. Another benefit is really you're creating your own competitive pricing. So, like Marina said, when you do a Google search, different platforms, different results came up, and certain platforms you can certainly sell at a higher price. For example, Etsy, we tend to have more buyers who are willing to pay more on Etsy. So when people are searching for your product, they can see, oh, it's, you know, a little cheaper here. Maybe I'll buy here. So that's another benefit, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little strange to say it, that you would price your items differently across different platforms, but we do it all the time. We price higher on Etsy. We talk about this in our, you know, Etsy podcast, but people still, like we said, go on Etsy. They'll pay 20% higher, even though we have the same item advertised on eBay or Poshmark for a lower price. The thing we don't do though, is we don't have different prices on all the platforms. Basically, they're all the same, except Etsy will price higher. Grailed, which is like a men-focused reseller website, will price higher. Tradesy will price higher. So we have our, you know, our price that we want, and then we always aim to price higher. Please never lowball your items.
And here's another thing. Cheaper may not mean better for a lot of buyers. It's interesting. I hear people saying, oh, I don't want to shop on eBay because I don't know if the quality is good. And people may, if they see the same item across different platforms, they may trust Etsy the most, and they're okay paying a little more. Yeah. So expanding your category. So that is another benefit of cross-listing. Is Poshmark only sells clothes and home goods. You know, Etsy, you could sell vintage telephones. eBay, you could pretty much sell everything. Mercari, it's pretty much everything too. So by cross-listing, you really expand your category to more items, which equals more sales. And last but not least, save time and money. Potentially, yes, you're adding more you're spending more time because you're on multiple platforms, but the end result is really, you know, if you think long term, you're really going to gain more out of it. So you're saving time and money.
And like, we've heard of people who don't use cross-listing softwares and they're able to be super fast on that. But for us, using a cross-listing software has really helped us save a lot of time. So it's definitely worth it to us.
And we talked about this. The service allows you to, you know, serve as an inventory system. So when something is sold, I delete the item, and that helps me determine, okay, well, this is no longer here. I don't need to relist it.
So my web promo said, when this pandemic eases up, I'm going to step up my reselling. There is money to be made. We just have to work at it. When I list more, I actually make sales. And we noticed that very same thing. And we hope you guys list 17 items today, by the way. When we list more, we're making way more sales.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you know? Yeah. So it is a matter of how much you list. That is definitely a huge factor in your sales that directly affect your sales. By the way, where are you living, my web promos, and how are you sourcing these days? Because, you know, we're in California. Everybody is quarantined at home. We're not allowed to leave our houses, right? And nothing is open. However, we've been able to get a ton of inventory from donations. So people who are moving, a lot of people are moving right now, and they have nowhere to take their items. So we've been able to get free inventory. We've also done some shopping on live estate sale auctions online. All right, so JHan19 says, I noticed that too regarding listing. And my web promo says, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. So how are things in Phoenix, Arizona? Are you guys quarantined at home like in California? All right. Also, those of you watching, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, we would really appreciate it. It tracks engagement while we do the videos, so thank you very, very much. All right, so Liv Thrift Love says she's in Las Vegas. How are things in Arizona and Nevada? Are you guys quarantined at home like California, or are you guys able to go out and source these days?
I heard the casinos are opening up slowly. Yeah, that's what I read on the news. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Are the casinos open now? Or
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. JHan19 says, I'm in Georgia. Our stores are opening back up, so I am sourcing again. Fantastic. All right. So thanks for the likes. We appreciate that. Live Thrift Love says we are in phase 1. Thrift stores are open. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The casinos are not yet open.
Maybe they're just thinking or planning. Yeah.
So we did that one. So is it worth it? Is what worth it?
Is a cross-listing tool
It's worth it to us. We actually had... Sorry, our dog. But we had a VA. Our dog is hungry or bored. We had a VA that was... cross-listing for us. And, it ended up being cheaper to do the service. We just said, hey, you know what? We're going to invest our time and we're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to save a lot of money to cross-list across platforms. We've been doing it for about 6 months now, and we do not regret it. We're saving a lot of money and a lot of time. So Live Thrift Love says also it's worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like the two popular ones are ListPerfectly and Vendoo out there at the moment. So if you guys have any questions or comments about listing, cross-listing that you want to share with your friend, with us, or with our friends, please put it in the comments below. But we do want to invite you this week to make it a goal to list 17 items a day. So before we started doing this challenge, we used to do maybe 5 to 10 items a day. We have noticed a very significant increase in sales by listing 17 items a day. So let's keep it up. Come and join us. It's an hour and a half of your time. Fit it early in the morning or at the end of your day. Just get it in there somewhere. And if you guys are interested in our cross-listing service that we're using, vendoo.co, we do have an affiliate link in our bio on Instagram at the Flippin Gals. And if you want to join through there, you can feel free to ask us questions about the software. We're open to talking with you guys about it as well. So have a wonderful Saturday. Check out this picture of this lazy cat who says, my weekend plans are to move just enough so no one thinks I'm dead. So those are our weekend plans as well. The C Shop 86 says, thank you, lots of good information.
Thank
It's
you.
our pleasure. Have a kick-ass Saturday. Go get it, guys. People are shopping on the weekend. List. And thanks for joining us this morning. See you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m.